Hi, are you ready to start reading the book that follows this in the series, but you don't really remember who the characters are? Fear not, this is your spoiler filled character guide, okay? I'm going to be telling you what we find out about the characters in this book. I have one for the first book already, and this is just supplementary information that this book gives us on everyone, also where they end up at the end of this. So, prepare, sit down, chill out, and let's get started. So we're going to start off with Bree and her ancestors. So of course, first up is Bree. So the only Bloodcraft ability available to her at all time is the passive ability to sense magic, so the sight, touch, and smell of it, and she can discern between individual casters and their moods. She still wears the Nyx Pendragon coin around her neck. Her ether is blue. She has wielded ether in Mage Flame to burn demons, which Legendborn cannot do. She's a blood crafter twice over from Arthur and also from Vera. Her scent, according to Sel, is honey wine, amber, green things growing, the tiniest hint of copper like fresh blood, power. She has a November birthday, and when she is possessed by Arthur, she has blue-silver eyes, and Arthur's influence over her, him mingling in with her, gave her that gray-silver curl she has. We have Ramona Pierce. This is Bree's fake identity given to her during the safe house on the ID printing machine in the basement. Arthur Pendragon is the king. Edwin Matthews, that's Bree's dad. He grew up in rural western North Carolina. He used to take family to see fall leaves in the mountains. He has graying bushy brows, salt and pepper stubble, broad nose, deep brown face, lines defining his smile, and he owns a mechanic shop. Faye Matthews is Bree's mom, so we see her at Volition when Bree asks ancestors if they've ever used root to attack, and she hasn't. We have Leanne Charles. This is Bree's grandma. She's a wide, short woman. She lived her life without power manifesting, and we see her in the beginning when Bree is just thrown through all of her ancestors' memories, running from the order at age 15. Jessie's a dino worker, and age 20 when we see her. She's the same one who healed Alice. She shows Bree how to use root to strike first, and she ran into the hunter twice after calling too much root. Her root is red and orange. Emmeline is a hero, fought creatures in the night, cornered by foxes, and Hunter watches her dying in the road. Shows her memory of the hunter as a black man passing her by in New Orleans, and in the other memories we see of the hunter, specifically Jesse, he is a white man. Corinne died in childbirth of Emmeline. Regina, power came to her when she asked and needed it. The hunter started appearing to find her, and she won't show Bree so he doesn't find her. Lived through emancipation. Mary saw the hunter once and made sure he never had cause to find her again. That is the daughter of Sella. Sella is Vera's daughter, ran and survived after Vera died, and Vera is the ancestral foremother. And so, starting from Faye, going backwards, it's like going backwards maternity-wise. So, Faye, daughter of Leanne, Leanne, daughter of Jesse, etc., etc. Family friend, Bree's best friend, Alice Chen. She is an official vassal to the line of Gawain, and she is with Bree on the run and in hiding, and by the end of this, she is unfortunately in a coma after Arthur put her in one. For the Root community, we have Patricia. She is in a cabin in the mountains laying low while the Order members are in town, but then she is used as bait to get Bree out of Volition. Mariah is the niece to Lucille, helps Lucille on the weekends, and her mother lives in Fountain, North Carolina. Miss Hazel, I'm pretty sure is the same as Hazel that Bree's mom took her to in the first book during that memory to see if she got root, because she's a reader. Miss Hazel is the partner of Lucille of 35 years, a short, round woman. Her scent is heavenly cloud of lavender, mint, and sage. Her tiny curls smell like cocoa butter and shea, and she has glowing deep brown skin, and her skin is smooth and soft. Now, Root community / Crossroads Lounge. So we have Valachez or Valak. He's black, tall, brown eyes that change to red, ancient looking eyes, unnaturally beautiful, inhumane grace, hair shown close on the sides, rising in thick, tight curls from his crown. He has dark eyebrows. He's teenage looking, maybe Sel's age, so like 18ish. He's a balanced Cambion. He is 205 years old. Pearl is his mother. He was born in 1815. He was cast out to freeze to death at night, but ended up enslaved somewhere else. His mother was seduced by an incubus. He was born on a plantation. He is the proprietor and broker of the Crossroads Lounge. He just helps with the deals. So he's the only champion in the region that both parties can trust and can see to it that humans aren't taken advantage of. He's the only local broker that facilitates deals between demons and humans, but then he says he's the only broker of his kind, not just local. He doesn't do murder contracts. His scent is dark, spicy, burning, old leather mixed with star anise. His magic feels like the ocean rising up in a wall and crashing over Bree all at once. One of his first deals was the musical talent beyond human imagining for their soul, and Lucille's great uncle 7 times over. We have Lucille. So this is the grand dame of the territory. She's a black woman with gray hair and braids, the niece of Valak, the Mariah's aunt, and she is the partner to Miss Hazel. For the order, Cell. Signature is bright, spicy cinnamon, warm whiskey, smoke from long burning logs. His ether is silver. His magic feels like tide pulling Bree under. He recasts his wards in the early evening before Shadowborn activity. He can only place barriers around specific and immobile locations, and this is unclear if it's just him or all Merlins. He can shapeshift into an owl. He is a prodigy. He was hand-selected to be King's Mage by Erebus, with Bree on the run and in hiding. Succumbing to the blood presence, so he's flushed with bright red slashes across each cheekbone, deep colored lips, rapid pulse, dark veins lining fingers and hands, burning sienna gold eyes, and he has a June birthday. By the end, he is like not fully, it's questionable. He is more demon than human after having to consume Bree's root in order to save her in the dream realm. Nick, we found him at his mother's cabin that she left to him for his 18th birthday, and he actually chooses not to go back to them in that moment to try to find a way to end the cycle without killing Bree, but after feeling Saul's murderous intent of volition, he does come back and join them, only to be left again by Bree, who left him to go with the Shadow King, Erebus. William is pale green eyes when he's Gawain. His ether is silver. His signature is bright citrus. Gawain's power is to crush opponents' bones in one hand and heal with the other. With Bree on the run and in hiding, he is, according to Bree, broken from having to watch Bree be tortured and had to torture Kizia. Larkin Lark Douglas is a young man no more than 20. He's white with a Scottish accent, so he's Scottish. He has tousled dark auburn hair, which is long on top and shorn on the sides. He has glowing golden eyes, which are brighter than cells. He's a Merlin. He is the same height as Bree, so 5'8". His ether is green and blue, also silver. Tattoos on the neck and fingers. He's the youngest member of the Mage Guard. He's a Nepo baby because his dad is Callum Douglas, who's supposedly one of the best, and he thinks William is cute. Natasha Kane, so this is Saul's mother, trained with Erebus. She's a prodigy. She gave Erebus his moniker. Erebus is not his real name, and she moved silent and swift. Lissa Burke, liege to line of Geraint. She's a white woman in her late 20s, dark hair with thick silver streak over each ear. Samira Miller, liege to the line of Bedivere. She's a black woman with short salt and pepper hair, broad shoulders, impressively curved biceps, barely there smile lines on her face, might be in her early 30s. Ophelia is liege, tall, white woman, short black hair. The new Scion of Boars, all we know about him is that he's 16 and he's squireless. Ava is the line of Morgaine descendant, young woman with short brown hair, and Arthur says that he sees Morgaine's spirit very strongly with her. Jonas is a senior liege. He's the squire to Scion Lydia. He was a tall man with warm, tawny skin, broad shoulders, full head of thick silver hair. He manages safe houses in the region, making sure they have supplies and remain secure, and he brokered the deal with Kizia's employer for one day to kill Bree, and he ended up dying from his oath because he intended to do great bodily harm to the Scion of Arthur. Regent Kestra, whatever her name is. She's commander of the military, regent of shadows, a tall white woman with pale blue eyes, auburn hair, daughter of the line of Tristan, distant relative to Tor, and she was never called. Erebus Varelian, mage seneschal. He has warm olive skin, thick black hair slicked back into an undercut, one of the highest-ranking Merlins in the Order, advisor on the High Council of Regents, Seneschal of Shadows. His ether is blue. His signature is myrrh and sap's incense burning. He has long canines. He gave Natasha her moniker Nyx, which means Greek goddess of the night. He performed Sel's Kingsmaid's Oath and is actually the Shadow King. Regent Gabriel is the Regent of Light, pale, upturned nose, gray streaking at temple of light brown hair. He acts like a politician. Seneschal Tacitus is the master of mesmer, born in Italy, slight Italian accent, tall, handsome, white, dark hair Merlin, rust-colored eyes, long fingers. Lord Regent Aldrich is the leader of High Council of Regents, tall-tanned, built like a warrior. Seneschal Saren is the master of constructs, short, wide-framed, bronze-skinned. He's a Merlin. His fingertips glow a pure diamond white edged with a faint line of deep blue, flames that never go dark and are always unbreakable. He is a powerful ether smith from the Pacific Northwest. His signature is a heavy, unsettling smell, and he has the deepest orange color eyes. Teresa Hamilton is the regent emissary, the voice of the High Council of Regents, acting on their express commands, and she is the one who frickin' drugs Bree in the Ogoth Thrag with the syringe at the beginning of the book, and we don't really see her again after that. Guard Olsen, tall woman, short blonde ponytail, hair shaved above either ear. She escorted William into the lodge after the arrival of Erebus and the Mage Guard. She fights Isaac at the cabin, and he chokes the life out of her. She recovers from that fight to hold Patricia hostage outside Volition to lure Bree out, then gets her ass beat by Arthur Bree. She somehow survived because Arthur tried to get her to drive him to the Regents, but didn't even need it because the Regent showed up anyway. Guard Max Zhao. He's a tall East Asian man, full mouth, bright golden eyes, undercut hairstyle. He's second in command to Erebus. He killed Martin Davis after he jumps in front of the spear meant for Nick, and he died by Nick decapitating him. Guard Branson is a white man, green gold eyes, undercut hairstyle. Von Schaefer is a page. He tried to be Nick's squire last book. After the Ogoth, he chose to forget the memories of that night, so he met with a mesmer specialist. Anna Rian is Nick's mother. Rians are one of the oldest vassal families. They disowned Anna for breaking order law, but they kept in contact with Nick occasionally because he was a Davis. Martin Davis kind of went crazy toward then. He died by a spear meant for Nick, thrown by Max Zhao. Isaac is Martin Davis's King's Mage. His magic feels like a wave, and he is possibly dead at the hands of Erebus after Erebus finds them at the cabin. Sir Owain is the son of the ancient king Urien. Sir Geraint, his sigil is a gray wolf. Sir Bedivere, his sigil is a one-winged falcon. Merlin, the original Merlin. He has a long, narrow face, full mouth, narrow nose, sharp cheekbones, dark brows, glowing red-orange eyes rimmed with yellow. He is a balanced Cambion, half incubus, black hair long enough to touch his shoulders, a handsome man. His face is both old and young. And then we have Morgaine, pale, dark tresses, deep green eyes, nearly as quiet as Merlin, Arthur's half-sister, Merlin's apprentice. For the Shadowborn that we meet, we have Kizia, who is the mimic demon Ichiel, long brown hair, pale skin, white fangs, black-tipped claws, dark veined fingers and arms, hired by Jonas to kill Bree, and she died by Sel killing her. We have the Shadow King. He is the Great Devourer from what the other Shadowborn call him, the Hunter from what the Root community calls him. He hunts humans for power. He has black eyes with red pupils. He is the Root community's boogeyman, a demon that wants nothing else but to devour as much power as he can. He's ancient. Nobody's been able to see him coming or can stop him. Wants ether, Root crafters in particular. The mimic demons are scared of him because he's known to go after them too. He has long curved legs tipped with black claws. His gaze burns Bree's skin. He has wings made of ink, a red split tongue. His voice is the sound of wind rushing through the mountains at Kader Idris, and he uses the darkest, deepest shadows on the ground as his passage for jumping from one shadow to the next. And we know now that he was Erebus Varelian all along. Okay, some other random people that are just like mentioned. So we have Dylan, who was William's boyfriend. He was a senior, tall, deep brown skin, wide smile. His major was environmental justice, and William broke up with him the day after Arthur was called. And then some randoms that are mentioned for the Crossroad Lounge. So we have Lewis, who is the red brown skinned black man with a beard trailing down to his chest and shiny clasps nestled in the braids. He's security at the Crossroads Lounge, and his scent is deep forest, loam, pine, damp bark. Emma is a young woman, golden brown skin, large eyes, around William or Sel's age, so like 18-ish, and she was the waitress that they had at the Crossroads Lounge. Alonzo is shorter than Sel, wider than Sel. He's a warlock. His scent is rotten fruit, sour and rancid. He's a bartender that Sel picks a fight with, and then Bree sets him on root flame fire and extinguishes his pack magic when she tries to separate them. And then we have Miranda, tall, brown-skinned woman, silver hair. She is the one who was stealing ether, and then later on told Erebus where they might find Bree. Those are all the characters that we see mentioned in this book. I hope you enjoyed everything that I just said to you. Be sure to watch out for the magic system if you want to learn more about what we learn in about the magic system in this book. If you want to go back and see what we're taught about the characters, the magic system, or even what happens in Legendborn, I have videos for that. I have videos for what happened in Bloodmarked. Be sure to check it out, and I will see you next time. Bye!